Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Sherm and I am Assistant DB Program Chair at College of Business, Westcliff University. Today we are going to talk about the Contextualized Teaching and Learning, CTL. What is the contextualized teaching and learning? The integration academic knowledge and professional skills in universities and any educational classrooms. So we're gonna learning that, and then I'm gonna share with you guys what I've been doing in my previous experience while I was teaching or instructing professionals or the students in my current or past experience. CTL is a group of instructional strategies designed to link the learning of many different type of objectives. First of all, we can say that in specific context that is of interest to the student, while you start teaching in the classroom, you have to connect your learning objectives to the specific context that is interest your students. For example, when I'm teaching 715 global economics, and my learning objective says that we're going to learn this week about the exchange rate. Necessity of the exchange rate, currency exchange, etc. In that case, I am trying to bring up real life example what is going on around the world. Why do we have to know about the exchange rate? Where we do see them? Most of the time when we talk about the exchange rate, people knows you going to the bank, you changing the money, you taking foreign currency in your own country or in a foreign country for your usage. But it's not necessarily a full answer to the question. Since we are teaching business executives in the future who is becoming, we have to give them details of business for the businessmen, of future executives, of future travelers, of future multinational corporation leaders, etc. So why do they need to have exchange rate? Why it's that can be relevant to the business they're going to open? For example, at the same time, I can bring up example of the immigration. Why is immigration relevant at this moment to the exchange rate? Because of migration and immigration can, I'm not talking about illegal things, I'm talking about the movement of the population from one zone to other zone, etc. And then therefore demand and supply changes. No matter what, in terms of food, in terms of living, in terms of needs of foreign currency, in terms of usage any kind of services, that is going to be changing, somewhere more, somewhere less. So this is, I'm bringing specific example. And professional skills and academic knowledge. Now, while we give them real life experience example, now we're going to link that from the professional and skills and academic knowledge, we're linking together. So therefore, we're giving some knowledge from the textbook, knowledge from academic knowledge. Whatever we have to say, according to the textbook, we are provided to teach or instruct our students. And learning directly on concrete applications and content by focusing teaching. So in my classes, in my personal experience, I do not do lecture style. I do most of the time it's like debate system. Most of the time I am talking to them less than they talk to me or to each other. So therefore patiently listening to the end until the end of conversation finishes without interrupting them, saying, "Oh, you awesome, you great," or "It's not necessarily correct answer." I don't say that. I am saying that okay for every single almost questions, and then at the end of the day, after we finish that part, I am slightly bringing to the right answer to the question what was given to the students, and then again I am making them to get from them the real answer. When contexts are shown, ideas in setting. Contextualized teaching and learning helps, makes important and relevant, and context inspires the student who most of the time not easy to reach, not interested, not understanding, not into academic words. So therefore, when we're using specific examples from the context which is relevant, that brings to the student's attention. Therefore, I just didn't say to you about the exchange rate from real life experience or mix that the immigration. That small key words takes attention of the students. So they're gonna pay attention what is going on, why he's talking about immigration, what is that relevant immigration, how can be relevant, etc. And expand the student confidence and enthusiasm. Most of the time students, they don't know from the beginning of the course, or they are hesitant or they shy. However, when we giving to them opportunity to be feeling free, confident, no matter what it's correct or wrong answer, that we're gonna build in them confidence, so they can be believe in themselves, try to answer while they don't know it is the right answer or wrong answer. So that helps to them to their education. So they're gonna be step by step more talkative, more engaged to the class, to the professor, and to the classmates. This is the most important things for us to while we're teaching our students. For example, sometimes when I'm talking in the classes or when I'm doing speeches or etc., I am bringing some kind of my own stories. So stories always interesting. For example, in this picture, you do see me and Julia Gillard. She was first Australian female Prime Minister, 27th Prime Minister of Australia, and she was elected unopposed by the Parliamentary Labour Party, and she worked there. And this case, when I'm talking about adoption, about better and quicker, when I'm bringing real life examples, so I met Prime Minister of Australia, that also my key word, which is takes their attention. Nevertheless, when I am talking about them, I am not just a professor. However, I am the member of International Monetary Fund or World Bank Group, which is the huge financial institution in the world. So that takes attention of the students, so they can for example say, okay, so if the professor knows the prime minister, parliamentarians, and he is being as a speaker for the global parliamentarian conferences, etc., so that they're gonna get more interested and asking more questions, which is be needed. So therefore, when I'm giving this my personal information, I am holding information longer, I am making them think deeper and ask me more questions. Nevertheless, I always tell to them, this is the I teach most of the time graduate students, and I'm always telling to them, do not expect from me some information, lecture you from your textbook. So they can be very successfully read textbook information themselves. However, and I'm telling to them, you should use me or other professors in your different classes to get more supplemental support, supplemental examples, practical example from real life experience, how we can link real life experience to the academic knowledge, whatever we're learning in the classroom or whatever written in our textbook. So that gives more interest lecture or participation in the classroom. So bringing scholarly and professional specialized courses. So first of all, we are for education. We giving to them education. We trying to make from them some kind of specialist in somehow, and then they going to the marketplace. In the marketplace, they exchanging with different expert professionals, labor market, etc., and then they becoming as a professional association, etc. So connected courses or learning networks. So this is while we teaching, it would be great if we can bring to our classrooms some kind of professional experts. For example, most of the time I'm trying to bring some expert to my classes as a guest lecturer, so they can bring different understanding, different point of views of the real life experts, not academic only. So that most 99.99% students, they love to see most of the time guest speakers. So let's see. What is that all means? Group instructing of coordinated contextualization and world-related courses. They always like to be connected to the real life. For example, when I'm talking about marketing strategy, I do teach marketing strategy, consumer behavior class. First, my question, what is consumer? What is customer? What is the end user? We think most of the time everybody knows who is the customer, who is the consumer, and who is the end user. You'll be surprised, most of the students, they don't know. For most of them, they think it's the same thing. However, it's different. And I'm bringing from real life experience. For example, who is the consumer, customer, and end user for the baby diapers? Is it parent? Is it grandparents? Is it baby? So this is real life example. So this is how I'm bringing to them real life question, so they can be involved in task and asking. Also, sometimes in my classes, I create, most of the time at the end of the course, most of the time in the middle and at the end, while they do presentations of the CLA2 presentation, I split group. One group presenters, they do presentations, and then group A, they will be judging from the negative part. Group B, they will be judging from positive part. However, it's not just judging. I give them only 1 minute to justify their opinions, why they think that presentation was good. Was it covered everything what was asked, required by the CLA2 presentation? Did they provide any citations or references or supportive materials? Did they bring real life experience? Did they follow whatever needs to be done for the making presentation CLA2? Did they use any graphs, pictures? Are they relevant or not? So this is one part, start telling from negative point of view, and then other group B, they defending and they're ready to go to answer the question. They saying it's not necessarily true. However, they did good job. They covered this part. They covered this part. In our opinion, this was covered. Nevertheless, according to this, whatever they citing, whatever they getting reference, they have to prove according to what was done. According to the CLA2 presentations requirement, they recovered from 1 to 8. It was only 8 sub questions, and it was covered all of them. And then back to next group A again, and they saying, okay, it was 8 sub question covered. However, they didn't give for the question 5, 6 or 513, 517. They did not provide deep understanding, deep explanation. They did not justify why they did that, why they provide this kind of information, etc. So I'm giving them back and forth to 4, 6 maybe rounds debate. While debate happens, that sometimes whoever against, they can be in real life for this kind of topics. However, they could change. Now they asking me, or if you're interested why I'm doing this debate, I am telling to them this is because of when we do make decisions, solo decision, we do understand one thing. When we make decision in groups, we're gonna listen others, we're gonna take under consideration other people's opinions, understandings, and justification. That might change our understanding, so therefore we can change our decisions. So therefore, my suggestion, using debate system, or how to say, debate part of the class, it was very successful. Unless in my classes, every single of my students, they loved it. They send me many emails, and they stop by every single after classes how it was successful. I'm gonna bring you one example. Recently I finished my weekend class, 505 managerial economics, and then at the end of the course, a few of my students came and told me that, Professor, we are noticed that while we have conversation with our colleagues at work, with our friends, family members, we are unknowingly using knowledge, whatever we're getting from classroom, especially this debate part of the class helps to us to become instant, making instant answer, instant understanding, not just answering and understanding, justifying what we're saying, not just saying, but we have a support why we're saying that. That is our goal as a professors. We wanna get this kind of feedback. We wanna teach our students so they become independent, instant thinkers, and critical thinking. Debate gives to them critical thinking, immediate, instant critical thinking. So because in my case, I don't give them more than 1 minute for each theme. Sometimes I cut. If it's too fast, I give them 30 seconds. So for the master's level, I give about up to 1 minute. Doctoral level, 30 seconds. Key elements in the faculty collaboration. From team, that becomes a faculty learning community. So first, meet regularly, ongoing communication. So when you meet with the student, each time you have to make them feel you care about them. You have to make them feel you are helping them. You are not policeman, you are helper, you instructor. You want their success. For example, most of the time I am encouraging students by bringing example of my colleague, Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson is, I would say, expert on APA format writing format. And I'm always telling, if you take Dr. Johnson's class, you will be expert. You will be not expert, it's highly said. However, you're gonna be knowledgeable very well, and you can get a lot from him for your future works, for your assignments, and then for the doctoral, for your doctoral dissertation would be great to learn from him a lot. All right. Synchronize syllabi, congregation of skill join project. That is also very helpful. Key elements in faculty collaboration. Faculty collaboration is important. If you, for example, we had a lot of faculties, we work together, and then we combined classes, and then we did class exercises. For example, I was teaching marketing strategy, someone else was teaching economics class, someone else is IT relevant classes. We combine and give them exercise and made them group from each course. Each group had at least one representative from each course. So therefore, someone knew already when they're going to do presentation, someone's going to talk about the marketing strategy they're taking that class. Someone is going to talk about economic aspects of that project because that person taking that class. And someone is going to relate that presentation to IT or technology because that person or persons taking that classes. This is very successful, and I am and my colleagues, Dr. Haddad, Dr. Rizvani, Dr. Ziadi, Dr. Johnson, most of the time we do collaboration between us, and it is very effective. And I think from team, but becomes a faculty learning community. So we making the team, and that comes for us, we are learning from each other. That can I call faculty learning community. We should always learn from each other. Nothing better than we learn from each other because we are all knowledgeable. We are know more than others in some field, in some object, in some expertise. That's why we are expert. That's why we have education or professional background. And we would be great if we can meet on regular basis and have this kind of communication. And faculty always can help and to learn to each other. Key elements is faculty collaboration. Okay, and we did talk that. Now, we always need to practice content and cross-cutting. So what students do, we have to practice. What students know and how students think. If we don't know what students do, or what they know or what they think, we cannot be helpful, we cannot give them recommendations, we cannot help them. We are professionals, we have to be able to know what they do, what they know, and what they think, so in terms of we can help them. All right, recommendations. So I have some recommendations here. Get student culture. It's important to know student culture because every single class we have different culture, even though for that specific class. And inside the class we have many subcultures, no matter if they are even from the same country or region or the same language. It doesn't mean it's the same culture. Always try to share your own life. As I told you, I'm telling to them my experience, where I work, my personal life, I'm married, I have kids. What my kids do, I'm inspiring them by showing to them how I am proud of being father, proud of being teacher, and proud of being as a professor as well. Rock the first minute, first 5 minutes. If you're gonna give them right, nice explanation, introduction about yourself or class, that is the key. Tackle problems together. Don't say, oh, this is the problem, oh, this is the issue. It's not going to help, my friends. You have to talk to them. You have to make them talk and think critically, and then together you can solve the problem. Show them you care about them. Not just, I do care about you. No, show them. Let them feel. Bury the past. You don't need to have any kind of past in your student and faculty relationship. Students' culture. Our students are from different countries, background, education, nationality, and religion. And instant entertainment and social connection are the cultural norm for them. We know they tend to gravitate toward certain digital stimuli as well, because all this we face in new kind of students. As an educator, it's important to familiarize yourself with the habits and mindset that define your digital generation. So let's talk about the share your life. So this is the one of those classroom engagement strategies that can work wonders if you do it right. Yes, you know, it's not just sharing your life. You need to know how to share your life. Often teachers are expected to put up a front, and this can create a serious barrier to student connection. From time to time, relax and open up a little. It's fine, it's normal. Choose some stories to tell about yourself and to show students how behind the mask of professionalism is someone just a human as they are. You are not just professor, you are also a human being. You've been professors also. What I'm saying to them, you know what, I've been student too, not once, not twice, many times. So, and recently I just graduated my doctoral degree. I am just brand new professor, so I know what you know. I know what you feel. So chat about they did the night before. So how was your last night? How did you do? Have you arrived? Have you traveled? Etc. That make them feel. And then answer their question and listen to their stories. So not just ask and ignore them. No, if you're asking questions, you have to be able to listen. Listening skills are important, not just talk and listen too. The possibilities for casual connections are endless, yes. Before you know it, the first 5 minutes up and everyone ready to work. So now you can turn and say, hey go guys, we need to start class now. We're gonna work. Teacher and student response. And answer. So this is the how time goes. Feeding teacher support and the teacher responsible to the students. Training in context. It is important to do this kind of trainings. This is the most important for engaging your students. Tackling problem together. Ask students about the learning objectives one by one, which is you have on the board, you have on your screen, I am hoping. And once they answer, then create more questions from the responses they ask again and again. Not just ask, get answer, from that answer create new question and instant question. Each time ask a different student critical thinking. When you're asking each person differently, different time, unexpectedly, that's going to make them very engaged. So do apply content, review the content, and learn about the content. This is the circle. Apply to the future learning, do it, review the learning, learn about the learning, and apply again and again and again. So this is the how is interesting. Show them you care, which is I was recommendation number 5. This is what showing students you care does means. Listening actively, valuing your opinion, greeting and talking to them, having patience, honoring your individuality. So this is all important. So they have to feel it. Don't tell I do listen you, I do care about you. Show them, let them feel. Keep smiling. It's important having smile in your face always. No matter you professor, they are students. It is important to be a part of it and be proud to be a professor. Let's do for our future Westcliff University educate, inspire, and empower students from around the world. Thank you so much for listening. I hope it was helpful. Hopefully see you again somewhere around. Thank you so much again. You have a good day all.